Hi everyone, School Us Intuitive. It's Tiff here with a Libra collective reading. Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any placement of Libra. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll use tarot cards, oracle cards, tarot tokens. I'll use my crystal ball. We'll use any sort of channeled messages I receive. I will share them as well. And so let's see what we have. Happy Earth Day tomorrow. I made sure I had plenty of decks for today's reading that are connecting to Mother Earth. Crystal cards, flowers, trees, animals, all of it. All right, so we have the Hanged One here. You're getting a clearer perspective on something, a certain situation. What else? And we have the Hierophant. So what kind of wisdom are you receiving? Or maybe you're sharing that wisdom. Maybe you yourself are getting ready to teach something or be called upon to be a mentor. So let's get started. We'll use the Tree Magic Oracle first. Libra. The pomegranate tree. Ooh, we'll take it. This has to do with wealth. Wealth can come in many forms. So this is complete harmony and the oneness of the universe attracts love and romance, family, and acquaintances. The pomegranate tree. I am feeling this energy of like new connections being made too. I was getting that before the reading. I always tune into the energy prior to the reading, and I was getting that. So what else, please? We have, I'm actually seeing a swan right now in the ball. And, you know, that can be a very like loving kind of energy, right? Very graceful. It can also let me know that maybe you're really on top of something that has felt emotional for a while. It could also be that you yourself are developing new skills as far as your own sort of, you know, intuition, divination, things like that. We have the almond tree with a windfall. Now, you've been getting windfall the last couple months in readings, or the last month or so. And when I looked at the clock just now, it said 222 on the timer. So let's just remind ourselves what 222 is. We've been getting this a lot. It does have to do with expansion. I do know that. I feel for some of you, I really strongly feel this could be a new connection in some way. Yeah, here's a sign of expansion, or this new connection leads to what feels like, you know, abundance in some area of your life, or a windfall. So here's 222 having to do with expansion. And this is when your spirit, mind, and soul are growing. That's when more expansion overall can happen, can occur, can develop. So the almond tree message says inner riches grow from psychological maturity, bringing a windfall of good fortune. Okay. And because I was seeing swan, I wanted to check in with my little Ted Andrews pocket guide here. This is Animal Speak Pocket Guide by Ted Andrews from Dragonhawk Publishing. That's how you can get this. And swan, I know what I felt, but this has to do with magical wonders. So this is about magical realms opening. That's great, you know, with the hanged one here, and then that sign of expansion. So yeah, this is trusting your heart and trusting yourself and your creativity, because new opportunities are coming. And I do feel, like I said, it feels like new connections, ones that are more just in tune for you. And maybe you're putting yourself out there more, and that's helping you attract more like people, you know, more like spirited, like minded, like soul, you know, whatever you want to call it. So many different terms we could use. So we will use the animal guides, tarot, okay? And this is, everything I use is down in the description box, all right? So here we are. Messages for your greatest highest good for the Libra collective, for whoever is here, please. We have the sun. Oh my goodness, look at that beautiful bluebird here. This is a cool deck because it actually does, it's sort of like a tarot and oracle card all in one, and its theme is animals. So Don't use it that often. So this is about your plans working out well. This is success, prosperity. How many times can you get wealth, windfall, prosperity? And we're only 5 minutes in. My goodness. All right. So this is about garnering the recognition for your accomplishments that you richly deserve. This could also be vitality increasing, vitality improving. I just, again, it's kind of bringing me back to this Hierophant here and this in the Hanged One. It's almost like you receive this new bit of information that is elevating in some way. So it could be that, now because Bluebird is a bluebird of like happiness, right? And so it could be that there's you have even a positive interaction because with the blue and the throat chakra and there's a blue butterfly here too. I feel like there's just some sort of, again, that word connection. What else do we have here? That really, it just, because you have the right connection, things start falling into place better. Once you see something, it's going to be hard to unsee it and not to go for it. We have the Eight of Fire. What do you know? Talk about going for it. Eight of Wands here coming in. So you have all this fiery energy, right? With the Sun and then the Eight of Fire. So this is the bee is on that card. And this is about being presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once, right? This isn't like some slow moving, slow going thing. This is like all at once, and it comes for Libra. So this could feel very stressful, but just remember, they are blessings, right? And how fortunate to receive and to have so many options now, especially after a period for many of you where you didn't have options. We have the Knight of Fire here. Someone who's passionate, confident, charismatic, maybe. So the Knight of Wands, more fire. And this is some sort of opportunity coming in that needs your attention now. So it's about moving quickly, just like that Eight of Fire, right? There's nothing you can't handle, though, all right? This is about following that inner knowing, right? Hanged Man. Following that inner knowing. Oh, all right. A couple cards flew over there, which I will get. And you have the Two of Earth. So cute little cat there. Yep. Cute little kitty there. And this is maybe feeling that stress of having all those opportunities. Maybe you're offered many jobs, or maybe you already have many responsibilities and you're trying to juggle all of that. So this is about balancing work, balancing personal life, and also like having fun as you live your life and not being too serious. So now I'm under the table for us getting these cards out. And what was it? Well, it's the ego or devil card here, as well as the 10 of Fire or 10 of Wands. As we were just talking about, this can be really having a lot of responsibilities. And maybe you're feeling like you have to stay stuck, or you're feeling as though just trapped in some sort of situation that you're not wanting to be under. This is about the stress of that, or of the stress of being like misaligned with what you're doing, becoming a bit much, becoming a little too much. Maybe you get a new connection that comes in and allows you to handle something that helps and affects your, think of all the things that are connecting to your pentacles, like your health or your wealth, your finances, material assets. So this could be feeling as though you're having to be very focused on wealth, and also that kind of leading you into sort of this negative cycle or spiral, feeling pretty stuck here. It looks like some of the energy, but I love seeing in that first row, the Sun, the Eight of Fire, the Knight of Fire. Then we have unity here. So there's that another Hierophant. Polar bear energy coming in for you, Libra. So this is embracing a time of deep spiritual growth. I mean, these are both spiritually kind of growth indicators here, the Hierophant and the Hanged One. So spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. As I said, this is about connections. I feel like developing those connections is now taking center stage, if it hasn't already. And this is some sort of maybe new idea or new wisdom that you gain with that Hierophant there. We have the 10 of Water. Oh, look. And then we have a couple little prairie dogs and their babies. And there's a rainbow there. So this is like the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups coming in. Some water cooling down that fire. So this is expressing your love and appreciation in some way. Okay, it's like a chosen family, you know, not necessarily the one you were born into. And this is really, it's a much happier time. You'll notice the rainbow and the northern lights here. So I forget whose sign had that in their reading recently. It might have been Virgo that had this, and it's like paying attention to something in the sky. There's something like colorful in the sky. So I wonder if some of you have seen the northern lights or you have seen a rainbow recently, or maybe that's coming in. But either way, it does have to do with connection, with happiness, with abundance and blessings and unity. It feels pretty celebratory. And you have two cards wanting to be together. So this is the 5 of Earth and the 3 of Air. So here's the rose-breasted grosbeak and the manatee coming in here together. So 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. I like that they use the elements on here. So we have earth and air. So with manatee, the 5 of Earth, this can be about, you know, kind of trying to get yourself out of that negative thought pattern that we were talking about, because it can be where you're feeling as though you haven't made any progress, or you're stuck, or you're focusing on everything that's maybe gone wrong, or you're feeling like you're on your own, or you've been kind of tossed aside, you know, or like it could be if you're wanting to start, say you want to start something on your own, it could just be feeling as though there are just a bunch of doors that have just closed, you know, just door after door is closing. That's what it feels like. But you can get support. Sometimes we forget in that card that the lights are on in that building, which some say could be a church, a cathedral or something. So there is support, but it's like we would have to be the ones to accept the support, right? Accepting the help. So it could be too connecting to something kind of sad here with the rose-breasted grosbeak. It could even have to do with some sort of maternal influence. That's what I'm getting. So maternal, like an older female in your life, or maybe you're the maternal figure in your family, but this is about needing some time to heal in some way, okay? And working through the emotions here and getting back to basics is actually coming in, about something maybe that's been so complicated and maybe just demanding extra attention and energy. And now maybe you're able to focus again more on just like having a good, regular, what's healthy for Libra kind of routine, not being maybe pulled in as many different directions like we have with that sort of the 2 of Pentacles and that 10 of Wands being together like that. And it feels like maybe for some, it's like being pulled in the wrong directions. I just heard a name too, clairaudiently, Denisa or Danica, something like that. So we have 2 of water, 2 of cups. We have the lovebirds coming in. And as I was saying before, I do feel like there are some new connections for some of you. And with the 2 of water, this could be falling in love or experiencing some sort of deeper emotion, you know, than what you currently have. So it can be romantic partnerships, yes, but it could be really any sort of partnership that's healing in some way. What else do we have? We have the Knight of Earth. So trustworthy, dedicated, protective, some sort of funny energy too is what's written on the card anyway. So seahorse. I'm kind of getting that seeing is believing, believing is seeing kind of energy, like magician energy. But this says it's important to make a detailed plan before we start any sort of new endeavor. Once we have a plan in place, then we can take action. But first we need to get that plan in place. So things don't, you know, a lot of the times we don't just suddenly strike it rich, right? And that's like very rare. So this can have to do with really having an opportunity and figuring out, like planning what it is you want to do with that opportunity, not letting that opportunity go to waste. But I do feel too, for some of you, this could be some sort of good news regarding a victory in health, wealth, even partnerships like love too. So what else do we have? So again, just a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. You have free will, final say. The Dreamer, the full card. Okay, so we have shepherd puppy here, and they're chasing some butterflies. Right, remember how I was saying I was feeling magician? Look at the bottom of the deck. There it is, the Magician. So first we'll talk about the full card, though. So the Dreamer, as they call it. The Dreamer, and then the Magician. So this is about starting a new adventure. Then we have Unicorn here, and how there's magic that can be manifested here, Libra. As I was saying, you know, believing is seeing, right? And that's what's coming in off this card. Especially, it's connecting to number 222, that sign of expansion, taking that leap. Yeah. It's like they want the butterflies so much that they didn't even realize maybe that they were jumping over this little ravine or whatever it's supposed to be. So yeah. And when we are just kind of taking the risk, and we're having more optimism and things, and we're ready for that adventure, that's when times can feel even more magical. We can feel even more connected to this earth as well as other realms, and to our most genuine self, that inner child, right? Letting that inner child play, having some fun, knowing that even people who are successful go on vacation. You know, you see them on vacation all the time on social media, right? But definitely taking that time to have fun, right? I do feel some sort of victory and recognition coming in, though, for your hard work, for your commitment to something. Yeah. Knight of Air. So this is a thoroughbred horse here coming in on this card, and this can be decisiveness, focused, some sort of driven or impulsive energy. Okay. So now you have 3 knights. You have all the knights except the Knight of Cups. So this is about things speeding up, right? And you have that energy early on with the Knight of Air and the Knight of Fire and the 8 of Fire. So this is about choosing logic, all right, and intellect over emotion. And as I said, the Knight of Cups that's the only one here that we don't have. So there could be a time period where you're really wanting to move forward fast, and you're maybe feeling pressured to do so. But let's get some advice here. The 2 of Air. What do you know? The 2 of Swords. Procrastination and worrying what others will think could block you from making a decision. So if you're torn between your desires and someone else's, follow your own inner guidance. Your inner guidance. There, we have a Dotson here. Following your inner guidance, getting that clarity for you, Libra. And there's life experience here, card 16, and that's actually what would be the equivalent of the Tower. We keep getting the Tower. Everyone's getting the Tower, it seems like right now. We're kind of in global Tower moments, right? Makes sense. So the bird is cuckoo. So this is about big changes coming in, right? This is about something that could be very quick. It could make you have to take that fast action, like that Knight of Air, right? So this is not hesitating to move in a new direction that you know is the best for you and for your evolution and your own growth. A lot of you come to the table with so much life experience and wisdom of your own. Hierophant, Hanged One, right? These are all about that. And so this is you really doing what you need to do and share. You know, maybe it does require you to have to kind of put yourself out there and share and mentor and lead, because some of you will be called to do that. And whether you're actually called, like, hey, we have a job opportunity for you, or it's a higher calling, then that's going to be different for each person, or for among the audience, let's say that. Okay. Not necessarily every single person out of thousands will have a different one, but all right, we have 7 of Water. So multiple people actually could be called upon to teach, multiple people could be called upon to share their wisdom or to mentor. So this is the 7 of Cups is about having to make that decision, having all those cups before them, right? And really needing to pick, like, how do you pick one kitten out of all these cute little kittens? You know, they're all lovely here in this one, but some of them might not be as lovely once you get them home. You know, they might not fit into your home the way some of the others would. So really, really doing your research, only making the decision to commit and to move forward after you've really done your research. It's not about overthinking, though. Okay, it's about listening to your heart, your higher self, your wisdom of that, your life experience, right? It's right after that life experience. What else for Libra? We have the Nine of Earth. Ah, cute little ragdoll cat there. So the Nine of Earth would be like the Nine of Pentacles in their garden. Okay, this is about success, bringing that financial security. It's about being able to take that time off. It's about a well-deserved reward. And you had that not too long ago in a reading, well-deserved rewards. So this is about enjoying your own company. And that, when you're doing that and you're really loving yourself and your vibration's higher and you're attracting other people who are also, confident people who, have a, something maybe to, I mean, it's not, you don't get into connections like for, oh, what can you offer me? But the point is like maybe you get into more balanced relationships, when you yourself are, as we call it, high vibing, or you're feeling extra confident, you're going to attract other people that are also like that. So isn't that better than, attracting people who need you, who drain your resources in some way? Like it's better, when we're in situations and relationships that we want rather than need, right? Or where the person's needing us. That would be like that devil energy, right? That unhealthy attachment. That's not what we're going for. We're going for that financial security and reward in general in those healthy relationships, because you are confident, you've done your work, or you're doing the work yourself. You've addressed probably many towers in your life, and you've still made something out of situations. This is maybe having a really good idea, but this is about having that success too, not just the idea. It's knowing how to nurture it into existence with magician, right? How to bring it into reality. And so a lot of you, maybe just you haven't been around the right connections in order to facilitate that sort of growth that you yourself want to experience. That's just, I know it's pretty specific, but that could be really resonating with some of you out there. Sometimes our environment really does, well, not sometimes, a lot of the times, our environment can really affect us in good ways and then in not so good ways. So you controlling your environment rather than your environment controlling you. Oh my. And there we are, more in alignment here. The Lovers with the flamingos. You know what I love about this is I was just talking about unhealthy attachments, which would be that devil energy. And now we have the Lovers, which is much better, a much better version of that energy, because it's about you making that informed decision, that choice, you deciding what's in alignment for you. Better connections, as I said, coming through. This is following your heart with caring actions and choices. Not just going with whoever or whatever comes your way, but you're the one deciding. Five of Air. We have a couple of collies here fighting over their toy, their rope toy. This is about a current path not leading to the happiest possible outcome. This is a card of needing a new strategy, right? Having to maintain our integrity as we do it too. Wanting to do it in the best possible way. Not all battles are worth it, right? It's just like choosing what you'd like to actually be part of and where your energy goes. And being aware too that other people have other agendas, right? They have maybe their own hidden agendas. So again, being very mindful and doing the research before jumping in, right? We have the Chariot card coming in with an Arabian horse. And this is about successfully balancing opposing energies. So this is perfect to follow this Five of Air. So you're successfully balancing those through determination and focus. Okay, you're earning the rewards and the recognition that you've been wanting. You're able to go into that new direction. This is what comes after the Lovers in tarot. So now you have the Lovers and then the Chariot. You go right into the very next energy, and that is the one where you have a clear path ahead. You have that self-control and discipline, and you're able to make change. You're able to take action, and it leads to success because of that. And there's release, though, with Peacock. So we've been getting this card too, like in every reading. So release, ending, new beginning, transformation, right? This is the rebirth card. We have Peacock here. Beautiful, beautiful energy. And there's something I'm getting right now, like this doesn't have to hurt so much, right? It could be it's just a step in the right direction. So that could actually be you're happily transforming something. You're happily moving on from something. It's a happy change. So releasing the past, moving on to something new. Again, they're giving me that. I'm getting that message about something way more authentic. I do want to see what's going on in here. I'm getting an umbrella. Oh, wow. And a very clear butterfly. Okay, that's really cool because, it's the card I just pulled. A lot of them have butterflies. Actually, I think almost all of them. But what's neat is I did see it actually in the crystal too. And so that doesn't always happen that actually rarely happens that I'll see exactly what we just talked about clear as day in the crystal. So yeah, there's a thing about being honest as you transform something too. And now I'm seeing a fountain, and then it's kind of like it's a sort of a statue too. And a fountain and a statue, one is like just standing firm and not really pliable. It's not moving in any way. It's just there. And a fountain would be, like moving the water, and it's very, very different energies. And so which energy are you in? Are you feeling more like statue-like, or are you dealing with an energy that's rather statuesque, or are you are you wanting to get that energy going again, or are you going like the fountain, and things have been really emotional and you're just wanting the stability like what a statue would be. It kind of looks like a monument is what it kind of looks like, kind of like the Washington Monument. What else do we have? I'm getting the number 1313, so that can be another indication of transformation. And I am getting this energy of sort of like a pressure point, like something like steam almost, and it needs to kind of be released. So I do feel there's absolutely a need for release. Interestingly enough, there's release on that card there instead of the death card. It's called the release card. What else do we have? I'm seeing a bird coming in for a landing. So maybe some of you are actually arriving at a new location in some way. Either you're flying, or you know what else you can have, Libra? You could actually have a surprise guest or visitor this week. And I do see something about getting travel details in order. What else do we have? I don't know. There could be a weather delay, though, if you are having to fly. All right. What else? Let's see. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to let go of? Yeah, I decided to add the crystal ball directly into the reading. It's always been here, and I do see things as I'm reading, but I don't like have it right out in the open in front of me and moving it as we're talking. And I thought, let's do that. Let's just add it in. Why not? I do it, so why not just throw that in there too, right? Maybe you yourself are using more of your skills in more of an open way, even. Again, sharing your own wisdom and knowledge and experience. Overbooked. So this is about wanting what you have. So missing out can often lead to something better. yeah, just like we were talking about, I was saying that difference between wanting and needing, and it makes me think of how, the Empress, they don't chase, they just attract, right? So being the attractor or the magnet for the things you want, not chasing after them or trying to make something fit that doesn't fit. So this is about true connections, authentic connections, right? So communication is going to be part of this too, I think. Banishing doubt, so trusting in your abilities, not letting doubt, not letting some sort of doubt define you. Action, dispelling your fear, right? Trusting in your abilities. And as you get started, the momentum builds. Racing thoughts here. So one thing at a time. One thing at a time here. You can't do everything all different directions super well. So maybe choosing just a couple of things to focus on, right? Narrowing in your focus here. Like the magician would have to do, or like even the nine of pentacles. And you have both of those in your reading. So focusing on what you can have now rather than the what ifs. So there's an element here of sort of being grateful for what it is you do have. What else do we have? More tarot, please. If you enjoy this reading, please do like the video, hype, subscribe, comment. Thanks so much. Become a member. Whatever you'd like. Oh my gosh. Did I just say the Empress? There it is. And I wasn't even going to get more tarot. And then we get more tarot and we get the Empress. So there it is. All right. That's one of our cards too that we share with. What a great card to get for like an Earth Day themed kind of reading. This is hopping into action. This is using your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. You're all up in those Empress vibes here. And I think there's a dragonfly on this card. Yeah, you're sharing your light here with the world. There it is. And then we were talking about a fountain, and here we have the stability of the rocks, but we also have the movement of the water. It's having that nice balance. And speaking of balance, I mean, the Empress has the energy of all four queens. This is a very balanced energy, a very balanced person who, they're not chasing, right? They're doing what they need to do. They've already they're becoming or living as though they are what they want to attract or what they want to be. They're already in that energy, and that's what helps them attract like energy. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let's use some of the woodland whispers as well. Whoa. I hear a name like Rosario. I'm getting the animal zebra too. So that can have to do with your, just uniqueness. And possibly, it's kind of being connected to the Fool card for me too. It feels like, you're a real original at what you're doing. And that actually is a good thing, instead of looking at it as, oh, I'm just a weirdo or whatever. Maybe you're looking at your uniqueness as something the world needs more of. You could actually be inspiring others in some way. That's another message that keeps coming in, you inspiring others, whether it is through your teaching or your life experience, maybe. But okay, so I'm seeing it's sort of like a macrame or yarn type diamond shaped woven wall art. And I think what it has to do with, like, just on its own, they're bringing me to this Two of Pentacles, the balls of yarn. They're showing me like, oh yeah, it's right here. So it can be the stress of like how things are going to come together and how things are going to fit together, and being maybe surprised at how well something can fit together. And I'm getting this color, like this greenish color. It's like, I want to say it's like a jade green, or it's the color of like aventurine, sort of a muted green in a way. And that can have to do with, at least my impression of the energy is sort of like a gentle healing, or a gentle sort of growth. Again, it feels very, like, you'll notice my voice change. It feels very like steady. And so something feels really therapeutic. And I wonder if it is like a new therapy or a new music I'm getting too, or an art form. because this thing that was hanging on the wall that I'm seeing, it's there's something really comforting about it, and there's something really the way things come together, the fact this happens, this unity, this cohesiveness, exactly the way you needed things to fall into place, that in and of itself is comforting. And it kind of, I feel like it kind of helps you believe in the universe a little more. So some of you can look forward to this happening. Some of you can look forward to this, a new type of comfort. I don't know, it could come from a group of people. It's just something feels very, I don't know, therapeutic. Let's put it that way. Therapeutic, I guess. But I know not everybody wants to hear about, healing all the time. So I'm mindful of that, All right. What else do we have? We have the roots here, tree roots, stable network. There we go. That's just it. That's it. How things come together, or like how people come together. It's comforting. I was just talking about stuff like this. So this is about so stable network. Some of you, that's what I think what I'm going for. You have you're a stable network, and then it means that if something else does come up, say, in any area of your life, you feel more supported by the universe and those around you, or the resource around you, or again, this new thing that feels very therapeutic in some way. So this is about strengthening foundations, deepening connections, yes, and ensuring growth is supportive, right? So that's what I'm getting. All right, what else do we have? I love that came in for you. All right. It's like a restorative kind of energy too. All right. Because when I'm saying therapeutic, I don't mean that it has to be like the treatment of a disorder or disease, right? I'm talking more about things that are promoting well-being, relaxation even, or relief from some kind of stress, right? Okay, wolf, pack leader. You are that leader, okay? Don't let someone push you around. This is about trusting your own instincts. I kind of am getting this energy of like some of you have been letting people just kind of push you around, and that's, you yourself, things too. So this is embracing your wild nature and finding balance between autonomy and community. And we have blueberries. This is about tapping into that sweetness of life and nourishing your spirit. Nourishing your spirit. So this is enjoying simple pleasures and embracing healing, uncovering your true passions. Let's get some Wild Heart Animal Spirit Oracle cards. We'll get our crystal cards, angel numbers as well. Oh my gosh, you have the wolf again. So wolf and lavender, wild and pure. This is seeing things through the eyes of a child, right? We talked about that at the beginning of the reading. So about inner child stuff and running free with abandon, seeing the wonder in the world, enjoying this life. And remember I said I was seeing a swan? There's our swan. I saw that in the crystal first thing, and now we have it towards the end of our reading. Swan and magnolia. Commit and endure. This is finding the right fit. It's time to be all in and to create a lasting legacy. Bottom of the deck, you have bee and coneflower. This is work and purpose, doing what matters, taking time to reflect on how meaningful your career is, your relationships, how aligned is your home situation. So very reflective energy. Let's get an angel number. 77, inner wisdom, Libra, connecting in with your spirituality and your intuition. Maybe you resonate with 77 somehow. And I'd like to get from this new crystal deck. Well, it's new to the channel. I've had it a while, but here it is. There's the box. Okay. And some new crystals here for the Libra Collective, please. Thanks again for being here. I really appreciate it. And generally on this channel, I post Sunday mornings, Eastern time. around 10. And then I also post Tuesday. And I'll be honest, I'm actually considering changing that to Saturday morning. Let me know how you would feel about that. And that would be Saturday morning, my time. So whatever time zone you're in, you'd have to check and see. If I were to post on a Saturday morning at 9 or 10 or 11, whatever time, 10 o'clock maybe, would that work for you better than Sunday? All right. Because especially as we get into nicer weather in the Northern Hemisphere, which is my time zone, what's better for people, Saturday morning or Sunday morning? Please let me know. I'd appreciate it. You can just write the word Saturday or Sunday down below, or even the 3-letter abbreviation, sun or sat. I get a lot of comments that say sun or sat. Anyway, and then I also post Tuesday and Thursday afternoons too, at least on this channel. Yep. All right. And the other channel, School Lesson to a Tiff, that is Monday evenings and other times too, or Monday afternoon. All right. So Black Obsidian, root chakras. I did not expect to see this. Like, that is such a, wow, that's a lot of reading, and it's a black and white, and I didn't expect that from a crystal deck, but I really like the messages on here. So this is about, so it's Scorpio energy, root chakra with Black Obsidian. And it helps you deal with issues relating to past misuse of personal power. It can enhance capacity to exercise self-control, resisting temptation, right? We talked about that. Helping you feel empowered enough to take control and responsibility of your healing. It can help you overcome all different types of like negative thought patterns. And these are the spiritual qualities, right? So work with professionals if you need to, but from a metaphysical properties perspective, this is what happens. Okay, I have to say that on the channel. So this is working to clear any sort of reproductive issues that have stemmed from past issues. So this can be very grounding. It's great for empaths. It can shield from negative energy, as I said. It can help you connect to the spiritual world and encourages you to find your soul purpose. Wow, that's a lot. Black Obsidian. And the affirmation is, I release negative energy within and around me with ease. And then we have Carnelian here, sacral chakra, Virgo energy. So we're right in between Scorpio and Virgo. So that's funny that we got Scorpio and Virgo cards here. So this one says, sparking creativity, manifesting dreams and desires, boosting abundance, love, and light in one's home, providing protection from hostility, negativity. It can help boost fertility, passion, motivation, romance, helping with purification, circulation, providing peace during like menstrual or menopausal symptoms. And it can help set boundaries, increase self-confidence, self-worth, restore vitality, help you overcome disordered thinking. Again, work with professionals if needed. Affirmation is, as I embrace joys and passion, this world becomes a reflection of my very best. And one more. Maybe it'll be a Libra one. Oh my gosh, it is. It's Libra and Leo. Love that. Wow, what do you know? Out of all these cards, like, maybe it'll be Libra, and it is. It's Libra. All right, so this is Sunstone. So this is about increasing intuition and good nature, helping manifest abundance in your life. It's for all chakras. This can aid in the protection against evil spirits. I put that in quotes. They put it in quotes. It can help with clearing and energizing your chakras, promoting balance of all kinds, stimulating creativity, energy, assisting in vitality, abundance, longevity. It can help you with strength, independence, originality, relief from stress, conquering fears, boosting feelings of optimism and care. Kind of like what we were talking about, that comfort sort of message. Helping individuals to find joy and happiness, increasing confidence. Some of it's a little repetitive. So the affirmation is, I'm safe to be my true self freely and happily. That's really the overall message of this whole reading. Yeah, 60 cards in here. So we had do the math on that, right? It's just funny to say, oh, Libra, and then we get Libra. I mean, out of the 58 remaining cards, right? So that was a really low probability of that happening, and yet it did. So yeah, miracles and things, that's a tiny miracle. Like, think miracles can happen all the time. So just remember that as we go forward. And wishing you a happy Earth Day and beyond. Thanks so much for tuning in. You know how to show support. Take care, Libra.